Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Now this movie 12 Monkeys is very interesting how when Bruce Willis he's in quarantine and these scientists or these pretty much rulers of the underworld, because they say that people are living underground and they can't go up above the ground because there's too many viruses operating above the ground. So they got people underground hiding away from the viruses. And so he's underground, but he's not with the rest of the population. He's in quarantine. And so they created a time machine to go back into the future. But he's only qualifying to go back into the future because he's very observant of his surroundings and situations. And he seems like he has a strong mind. You see, they like those who have strong minds. Those are the ones that's gonna survive in the time that's coming. So this movie came out in '95, and they was predicting the outbreak of the virus to happen in '96, '97. But he was from way beyond '96, '97, and the scientists was supposed to send them back to '96 when it happened, but they wound up sending him back to 1990, and then when he went back to 1990, they sent him to a crazy house because once he got there, he went to telling people what he was trying to do and what had happened in the future, and they thought it was crazy. They said, we got to send this man to the crazy house because he talking crazy. He talking about the world population is going to be affected by a virus, a deadly virus. They're going to be affected and die from a deadly virus. 99% of the world's population, only 1% gonna be left. Okay? Now, if that ain't the coronavirus or a epidemic or pandemic, I don't know what it was. And why is you making this movie in 1995? Same time you making this movie, you got Goody Mob saying, put your hand put your hand over the some kind of, they pretty much were talking about the mark of the beast. He said computer chip. They were talking about a computer chip in your hand, and you gonna scan your hand when you go into the store. He went in the store to buy some wings or something, and he put his hand and they scanned his hand. Now watch what they do to this man when they tell you where he's at.
James Cole, cleared from quarantine. James Cole, cleared from quarantine.
Thank you. You two wait outside.
He's got a history, Doctor. Violence, antisocial sex, repeated violations of the Permanent Emergency Code, insolence, defiance, disregard of authority, doing 25 to life.
I don't think he's going to hurt us. You aren't going to hurt us, are you, Mr. Cole?
Yes, sir.
Luke 21, verse 11. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. Now this is when they ask who they ignorantly called Jesus, Yahushua. They asked him, they said, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? Okay. They was asking, when was this end of the world gonna come? They already knew Second Esdras. They read the scrolls of Second Esdras, and when these grocery stores was gonna become empty, and when people gonna blow the trumpet and start fighting each other. They heard about the books will be open in the firmament, and when the world start to vanish away. They say, when is all these things gonna be, man? We heard about the end in Second Esdras, but when is it gonna be? So he told them earthquakes were gonna come, but then he say famine and pestilence. Now the famine and the pestilence was together. You see, and that's why right here they got James Cole on the ground, because the famine has hit and wiped out most of the population. The plague and pestilence have hit and wiped out most of the population. 99% of the population have been wiped out. He's under the ground. The scientists got him on this time machine. They ready to send him back to the past, where he can be observing and see what happened and give them some information, so they can send somebody back at the right time to try to stop the virus and change the course of history. And so even this movie is like a time machine, because it's like he going back in time trying to change what's going to happen. We looking at the movie trying to see that these dragons pretty much put their plans in this movie, thinking that we can alter the future off the information we get from this movie, and be very observant, just like James Cole. Now watch how he what they say about the atmosphere of the world.
Reduce your sentence considerably.
And possibly play an important role in returning the human race to the surface of the earth.
We want tough-minded people, strong mentally. We appreciate your volunteering. You're a very good observer, Cole.
Thank you.
We have a very advanced program, something very different. An opportunity to reduce your sentence considerably.
And possibly play an important role in returning the human race to the surface of the earth.
We want tough-minded people, strong mentally.
Mark chapter 4, verse 22. For there is nothing hid which shall not be manifest. Nothing was anything kept secret, but that it should come abroad. If any man have ears to hear, let him hear. For there is nothing hid which shall not be manifest, neither was anything kept secret that it should come abroad. If any man have ears to hear, let him hear. So they pretty much saying it's nothing that's going to be kept a secret and hidden from the world. People are going to find out that these red dragons have created a disease and plan on giving the world influenza, or a strong version of influenza. They've been in the laboratory working on this thing to make it a worldwide plague, to the gang of function, they call it, to make it stronger. And they called the movie 12 Monkeys because when the 12 tribes of Israel woke up, because they've been calling us monkeys back in the Planet of the Apes. The movie was supposed to be the Planet of the Monkeys. So way from that movie, the Planet of the Monkeys, they knew we was going to wake up and take over the world. So they creating this coronavirus and any other kind of influenza, respiratory, airborne virus as a weapon to when we start to wake up, the 12 tribes of Israel, they would release it.
But it all started with the world getting sick.
We're not God.
The viruses mutating, evolving. Trust me, there's nothing there worth saving. Some of us, very few, were immune. 7 billion people. Many became scavengers.
Revelations 16:17. And the 7th angel poured out his vial into the air. And there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne saying, "It is done." You see? So, and that verse is isolated and put in the middle of stuff that got nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with it. But in Revelation 16:1, it says, "And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, Go your way and pour out the vials of the wrath of God upon the earth." And the first one went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a numerous and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. Now, all of the other vials was poured in different places. One was poured on the earth. One was poured in the sea. One was poured in the rivers. One was poured upon the seat of the beast. One was poured in the river Euphrates. Okay? And then boom, 17. The 7th one was poured in the air. Bible prophecy. The vial. And you know it's the spirit because I haven't researched none of this. This ain't something I saw a bunch of Israelites on YouTube breaking down. You see, that's the Most High exposing these dragons. The vow that this angel is releasing is the plague on in the air, an airborne pathogen. You see? And that's when it's all said and done. The end in this kingdom is finished. That's when the great day of Armageddon is gonna pop off. After that is nothing left but war and nuclear missiles when they release this virus in the air, which they have done. They have created it, and they probably got some more in the chamber with these coronaviruses and Ebolas and major airborne pathogens. You see, I'm going to read that again before I close this out. Revelation 16:17. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air. And there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne saying, "It is done." You see that? Wow, that is powerful. That is very powerful. Those 7 angels with the vial, they was pouring it everywhere else, but once they poured it in the air, that lets you know off the rip that is a poisonous, deadly virus that's in the air and that's gonna kill millions of people starting this Armageddon. You see? And gathering these kings of the earth. That's how you gonna get. That's one way you can gather the kings of the earth with a deadly virus. Because when God Almighty battle with you, you is in a major war. And that's why the guy say only a few will be immune to the thing. Only a small group of people gonna be immune to the virus and be able to not be affected by the virus. But the virus gonna kill a lot of people. Whatever virus they come up with, and we seeing live in action, coronavirus, COVID-19, banging on the whole world. But yeah, 12 monkeys is all about the 12 tribes of Israel. It's not about nobody else. They made it in 95. They put a trailer out in 2015 when they was in the laboratory in these universities in America trying to make the gain of function where the virus can be stronger and transmute from person to person or mammal to mammal. They was doing the research. Then they let the movie out in 2017 or a TV series on Netflix called 12 Monkeys. Then 3 years later, boom, here come the virus. Coronavirus. And on one of the pictures, he had December the 31st, and coronavirus, they named it COVID-19 because it hit December. And it was still 19, but it was 2019. But the month that it hit was in December, around winter time. when they knew it's going to spread in the middle of the winter. The dead of the winter, December the 21st, right there when the goddess Janus and all of these on one of these spiritual false god days. But I'm going to leave it there. All praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. Ba'Shem Rikah Kadash. Double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Death to America. Death to these red dragons. Shalom.